was lunch? Was it good? I know, wasn't it good? All right. Hey guys, thanks for coming back after lunch. I know it's tough. My name is Paul Woods, and I am a designer, illustrator, professional wanker, and Irishman. In Ireland, we wear suits for all occasions, including design conferences and funerals. So, I'm the Chief Creative Officer of Edenspiekermann. That's pronounced Edenspiekermann. We're a digital design agency. We work at the intersection of digital, brand, and content. And yes, there is a Mr. Spiekermann. That's him up there. His name is Eric Spiekermann. He's 70 years of age, and he's been working in design, graphic design, and typography for, I guess, about 50 years. A quick overview of the sort of stuff that we do. We just recently launched Red Bull TV, all the apps for that. We do stuff for FontShop. TheEconomist.com launched recently. Hello Giggles. Some stuff for Google. And that's all the work I'm going to show today. I'm not here today, actually, to talk about Edenspiekermann at all. What I am here to talk to you guys today is about a poster that hangs on the wall of Edenspiekermann. It hangs on the wall in our Los Angeles office. It hangs on the wall in our Berlin office and all around the world. This is the poster. I didn't design this, so I can say it. It's probably one of the most popular posters I've ever encountered. Anyone who comes into our office, be it a client or a CMO of a bank or whatever, looks at this poster and goes, man, that's a fucking cool poster. Fuck assholes, you know that? And what I find so curious about this is that we all want to fuck assholes and say, I don't want to work for an asshole. Who wants to work for an asshole? And yet, in the creative industry, so many of us do. All right? Day in, day out, we work for the asshole clients. Maybe we work for the asshole creative director, me, the asshole account director. And what I would like to talk to you guys today about, and ask the question, is it necessary to be an asshole to do great work? And being an asshole means many, many things. And I'll get to that in a second. So, the agency asshole. So when it comes to assholes, you're going to hear that word again and again and again. It's going to lose its meaning over the next 20 minutes. The creative agency doesn't have a real good rep, all right? We've all seen Mad Men, right? Now, while the work that we've done has certainly changed since the 1950s, the culture at agencies, especially larger agencies, by and large, has not. So, what I mean by that, let's take a look at these examples. And you guys can let me know if you recognize any of these people. How about the account director that promises a client a 6-month website project in 3 weeks? The creative director, who, of course, takes all the credit for all the work of the junior designers. The project manager that decides to deliver their feedback from the client at 5 p.m. on a Friday before a Monday deadline. Or my pet hate, the CEO that says, you know what, we shouldn't pay our interns. This is the agency asshole. Now, in short, the creative agency has been filled with these people for years and years and years. And all of this is in the name of great work. So you're probably asking me, why should I give a fuck about this? We're here to talk about design and digital and awesome shit. And assholes and internal culture in an agency or any creative business matters an awful lot. And because of digital. For two main reasons. Before I jump into that, I just want to get one thing straight. I'm not a hippie. This is not a peace and love session. I care about great work. I care a lot about great work. I care about awards. I care about this. I care about money. I run a design agency. I care about paying people salaries and making some money. And for all of these reasons, being nice matters. If you want to do great work, it matters. If you want to win awards, it matters. And if you are a truly soulless creature that only cares about money, it still matters. These are the two reasons why it matters in 2017. Digital takes a very long fucking time. Traditionally, an agency would do a campaign or a brand project, and it could take 3 or 4 weeks, and people could crunch. They could work every hour that God sends. They could tell their families to go fuck themselves every weekend and just stay in the office. You can't do this when you work on a project. This is Red Bull TV. We worked on this for over 3 years. We worked on redbull.com for almost 4 years with a largely unchanging team. You simply cannot work that long on a project and be a dick to people and expect them to stick around. So the second reason is great work needs great people. Now you might say, Paul, that is fucking obvious. That is the obvious thing in the world. If you have B-list people, you're going to have fucking B-list work. What has changed, though? This is something I stole from Working Not Working, which is an awesome company, and I just felt this week I need some statistics to back up my point. So I found this. Actually, this is a very interesting diagram. This is the, I think they call it the companies to die for, to work that you would die to work for. And what I found interesting when I looked at this, about half of these are in-house companies. Great design is going in-house now. There's no denying that. I've seen this time and time again. Some of the best designers that I know who have been agency people through and through are now going in-house. Also, we've got our friend Glassdoor, and all of this horrible shit that agencies do, the toxic culture, the late nights, the egotistic creative directors, now have their own wall of fame on Glassdoor. It's fantastic. Who wouldn't want to work in these places? Look at this terrible experience. A fine spot. So for all of these reasons, I find myself increasingly asking, as someone who runs a creative agency, is the creative agency in deep shit? And I say yes, it is. If it does not change, it is in very, very deep shit. There's 2 words, in my opinion, that a creative agency in the digital age needs to think about when it comes to staying relevant, producing great work, and of course, keeping great people, like the people in this room. Sustainability and collaboration. They're very long and buzzwordy words, for sure. Sustainability, in my opinion, is critical to keep your staff over a digital project which could run for years and years. Collaboration, the other buzzword, means that simply you cannot be a dick to in-house teams. You have to work closely with your clients. You have to operate like a product design company. You can't work in a churn and burn system anymore. So, for all of these reasons, I say internal culture at agencies matters an awful lot. Being an asshole is just not acceptable anymore. And for those reasons, I put together these quick 5 slides, or quick 5 points for you to enjoy. And I call them the agency etiquette for non-assholes. Number 1, learn people's names. It's easy. It sounds easy. But half the agencies I worked at, no one knew the names of the interns. This is Edenspiekermann. He is 70 years of age. Every time an intern starts in the Berlin office, before they even walk in the doors, he knows their name, their town, where they studied, and might even have an anecdote about their university or where they worked in the past. If he can do this, then the agency with 20 people can also do this. Number 2, reply to your job applications. Again, we're starting small here. These are easy tasks to complete. And yet, how many people here, when they were starting out, emailed a design agency and never got a reply? Hands up. This fucking baffles me. What people don't understand is what goes around comes around. And who very well may be applying for an internship today, and I speak for true experience here, may be your client tomorrow. The creative industry is a small one, and it's getting smaller. Number 3 is a bigger one. Work normal hours. Now, this is a bigger topic. I put this chart together. Typically at an agency, this is what the time zones of the different departments look like. Of course, we have our friends in the account department, our fine friends there. The strategy department, admin, all 6 o'clock. And this is the earliest time, I think, that creatives go home at big agencies. And what I find, again, about this whole thing is this is not conducive to great work. No one works well after a 10-hour day. It just doesn't make sense. You hear these stories. What baffles me also is that creatives, or people in the agencies, wear these long hours as a badge of pride. In fact, the longer you work, the better you are, surely, right? You hear these stories, well, Bob, I haven't slept in 3 weeks, and I've never felt better. Or, well, Timmy, you know, I've missed all of my children's birthdays. That's right, all of the birthdays of all of my children, and I am a fine designer because of it. And the thing is that all of this is bullshit. It is a lie. In fact, in the words of a very popular lady at the moment, it is an alternative fact. Great work does not mean long hours. Because the truth is, many countries kick ass at sustainable work practices. I worked in Berlin for quite a number of years, and what was quite surprising, and Berlin is definitely not, or Germany is definitely not alone in this, it's also the case in many Nordic countries. If you can't get your shit done in the allocated time, you're not patted on the back for staying late. If Timmy can do his stuff in 8 hours, and Tommy can do his stuff in 12 hours, who's the better designer? And this is quite an attitude shift. And one thing we found is that for this to work, for people to be able to leave at a reasonable time and still do great work that wins awards and makes money, is process. That's a dirty word, right? We're all designers or developers. We don't really like process. We like to make a mess and have fun. But process doesn't mean sticking rigidly to Gantt charts. In fact, it means quite the opposite. Look at this beautiful image. This represents how agencies have built websites for many, many years. It is the waterfall. Some of you may be familiar with this. Traditionally, a digital product would start at the top of the waterfall with analysis. It would work its way down through concept, down to design, implementation, and then it went live. It was amazing, except when the client needed a change. And then you climb all the way back up to the top of the waterfall, and you start again. You can imagine when you do this and combine it with this, our friend the Gantt chart, long hours are going to occur. It is not fucking rocket science, right? So about 2011, we actually changed the way we worked. And the way we changed it was we started working in Agile, specifically Scrum. And that is a framework that a team can work together that software development companies have been using since the 80s. And what we do is it looks something like this. Our design and development teams work in a Scrum process. So, up at the top left, we have the product backlog. This is all the shit your product is going to do. And this list is updated every week. It's like a bank of awesome ideas that are prioritized. Then we've got the sprint, which is arbitrarily 2 to 4 weeks. Together with the team and the product owner, which is the client in the agency environment, we sit together and we figure out what are the most important things we have to do for this sprint. Together, our designers and developers work on this set of features, design and code simultaneously, so we have something shippable, and then at the end, we have a deliverable. And then we do it again, and we do it again until the client, of course, runs out of money. However, what's great about this for the client is that they buy time rather than deliverables. And of course, it's still scoped, but the client then has the power to shift direction. Sure, we have a big vision that we work towards, but along the way, market trends or whatever may change our direction, we can easily swap out features without affecting the scope. So a quick overview of the people in the Agile process. The product owner, which is usually on the client side. We've got the Scrum Master, who manages the process, and the team who manages itself. So there's no project manager per se. This is one process. I am not trying to sell Scrum or Agile to you. You can take it or leave it. But by and large, long hours comes from a bad process. Next, number 4, give credit where credit is due. Traditionally, when a creative director was presenting to a client, a man would stand up in a suit at the top of a room, much like this, and say, "I'm very important," not dissimilar to this situation. Now, the creative director, or whoever this group creative director, or this Christ of design, if you will, would be the be-all and end-all voice to the client. He'd take the feedback, he'd go back to the agency, and then in the sweatshop in the back, all the junior designers are actually doing the work. Now, of course, he's a dick, and no one wants to be him in 2017. But there's another reason why this doesn't work. It shields the people that are actually doing the work from the client. And how is this beneficial to a client? What we've tried to do increasingly is our junior designers actually present the work, where the creative director comes in and facilitates it. And our motto is, whoever does the work presents the work. Because whoever does the work is most knowledgeable about the work, right? It's not rocket science. The second thing you'll notice in this photo, which is a very ugly photo, I'm sorry about that, is that there are actually 2 clients in here, because our clients work with us as part of our Agile process. Our clients work side by side. This is on fontshop.com, and these are 2 of our clients who work in our office. That's actually something we do quite a lot. Our teams are embedded in our client teams. And as client-side teams become better than agencies, this is the only game in town. Close collaboration with in-house teams who are, again, often more talented than agency teams. And this is coming from an agency person. Another photo. This is our main client from Rebel TV. There he is there, hidden. It's like, where's Wally? Or where's Waldo, as you call it in America. 2 hungover designers and 1 client. In the middle, of course, hiding behind his laptop. So, the moral of the story is let your team shine. Not even just for the sake of not being a dick and taking credit for work that's not yours, but I promise you, your client will thank you for this. I have one last tip to share with you. And it's quite easy. Number 5. Pay your fucking interns. How many people have done an unpaid internship out of curiosity? Jesus Christ, that is a lot of people. Um, yeah, so not a lot to say on that other than you should pay your interns because oftentimes they are more talented than your staff. They are not there to make your tea or to walk the office dog. They are there to do work and to learn, and they deserve to be paid. At Edenspiekermann, actually, not all, but many of our staff have come through internships. I actually started out as an intern at Edenspiekermann, and many of our other partners are also came from internships. What I will say to you, to conclude, is what goes around comes around. In a world where our in-house teams are becoming more talented than our agencies, and there's an increasing run of people between client and agency, karma is more of a bitch than ever. In the digital world, it really and truly pays to be nice. In the words of Anthony Burrell, work hard and be nice to people. And the words of Edenspiekermann, don't be an asshole. Thank you.